Welcome everyone to the November 13th, 2024 West Parry Sound Recreation and Culture Center Board. I would begin by acknowledging that we're on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe people under the Robinson-Huron Treaty of 1850 and the waterways traveled by the Métis of this region. There was an item that was suggested that it go on closed, and I understand that possibly many feel that it should be an open. So I'd like to see to keep it in open. Are those everyone here in favor of that? Mayor Robinson?
Yeah, this was a late piece of correspondence that
Yes.
we received from the municipality of Carning regarding the loan. And if that's the item that we're discussing here, then I see no reason why that shouldn't be dealt with in open session.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. I'm not sure how the board feels.
We'll just a show of hands to have it an open. Okay, it's an open. Okay. We don't need to go into a closed meeting. Then would this be an addition to the open? Okay, so those in favor of having the closed item moved into the open session, mover and seconder for the agenda. Councillor Lundy, Councillor Fellner, and everyone's in favor of that. So that the agenda for the November 11th, 2024 West Parry Sound Recreation and Culture Center Board is hereby approved as amended, unless there's any, is there another item that needs to come forward? No?
I didn't catch.
Where, what agenda item number?
We're on item 1, 2 additions to open agenda.
No.
The item that we're. Through you, Chair McGarvey, the item that we're adding is Carling Township's notice regarding bank financing for construction.
What item will be on?
It will be item 3.5. Thank you.
All in favor of the agenda? And that's carried. Is there any declaration of pecuniary interest to the general nature thereof? Nope. Okay. Mover and seconder for the minutes. Mayor Robinson and Councillor Fellner. The minutes from October 9th, 2024, regular meeting of the West Parry Sound Recreation and Culture Center Board are hereby approved as circulated. Any discussion or comments on those minutes? No. All in favor then? That's carried. No correspondence. Chair's report. One item well, two items I'll mention, and I'm sure it'll be mentioned during the fundraising update as well, but the winter sound waves, which will be community making music for the community, Sunday, December 15th, 2024, from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Stocky Center. And you'll start to see these brochures up around town, so that's good. Council had approved a renaming of Parry Sound Drive, and we do have someone that is interested in it, and that money that which I can say is $50,000 is going to go towards the West Parry Sound Recreation and Culture Center, and hopefully doubled by the person. Well, it'll certainly take it over the top, I'm sure. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so certainly someone was interested and willing to do it. So there will be more on that later. It's 3.2 monthly financials. Ms. Phillips.
Thank you. So as of October 31st, 2024, the balance sheet shows the cash balance is approximately $89,000, and 4.6 million in grant funding is receivable from ISIP. 8,447,000 has been recorded in work in progress towards the capital works. 3.87 million in ISIP grant revenues have been claimed year to date. This is on the statement of operations now, and legal and other consulting costs to date are $61,503, which includes agreement work, advice regarding the purchase of land and donations, etc. Funds on hand are earning interest of $189,444 year to date. And as of October, the fundraising surplus from the beginning to date is $496,704. $110,496 shows as receipted towards the Moose FM fundraising campaign through a number of user groups, and that's exceeding the target of 100,000, and those donations continue to come in. For the cash flow, so all partners have forwarded their share of cash call one for the temporary financing, with the exception of McKellar to date. A progress report of 807,000 approximately is approved and in the final stages to be paid. So I've been advised that that's to be paid sometime this week, but I'm still waiting to receive a remittance and the cash on that. So if we don't receive that by the end of the week, another cash call will likely go out. So, and then in addition, regarding bank financing for short term towards the project. Following the last meeting at the bank, the board's bank requested additional financial information administratively towards getting those funds. And they work towards submitting a credit application internally. And it's expected that the MSB will hear back regarding the application in the short term. So they've already come back just with some questions about following through with the requirements of the bank, and we expect everything to be in order related to that. That's all I have regarding that. I guess another item is coming later in the agenda related to the guarantees.
All right.
Any
Thank you.
questions?
Yeah. Any questions from Ms. Phillips? No? Okay. Very good. Thank you. Mover and seconder to receive the reports, Councillor Lundy, Mayor Robinson, that the October 31st, 2024 financial reports be received for information. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Project and budget update, steering committee. Mr. Inwood?
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. I would like to pass the torch very quickly off to Mr. Homewood from Ball Construction. However, he has just recently sent a message. He's got some circumstances that are going to prevent him from logging on till about 7:30. So if the board would like, I'm happy to walk through the presentation and share the information that I'm aware of. Or we can defer this until after 7:30. I'll leave it to the board if you want me to carry on, or if you want to wait.
You may as well carry on. Maybe we'll be done by 7:30.
Okay. I will ask the clerk if it's a possibility for her to share the presentation.
It will take me a few minutes.
Okay.
Well, then, okay, then why don't we bring the fundraising team chair forward, and Mayor McDermott, can you give us an update that way?
Yeah, Stephanie has already given you detailed financial details. And yes, we're over our $100,000. The anonymous donor, when I spoke to him this week, said I can go a little above 100. So by the 23rd, I need to see what he defines as a little over, but he's on it. We're closing the campaign officially on the 23rd of November. And so any funds that are expected to be doubled need to be in by then. We will be closing with a public 12 till 2 pizza party at Maurizio's on Saturday, November 23rd. And every community and donors, everybody's invited to stop by for a slice or two of pizza, not a pizza, but Maurizio's is refusing any money for this. And they will be making their donation of $1 for pizza for everyone since July till now on the 23rd as part of their you've got the announcement of Winter Sound Waves. I encourage you to put it on your calendar and buy your tickets. It was sold out last year, so it is quite an event. We have James Cameron's and some pretty high-end musicians in the second half of the show, and the first part is primarily school and organized choirs and bands, but it will be a big event. I can report that I'm in very active discussions with the staff at 2 very major national foundations, which has just happened in the last couple of weeks. So I'm very encouraged by that. I've given a couple contracts to Rebecca. I hope to get signed today with a couple more local people giving us money over 5 years. None of them, the addition ones, want their name on anything, but they do want to make significant donations over the 5-year period. So we've kind of modified the contract to make sure we know when to send out those invoices. And the major naming donor that you've been hearing about over the last several months is still not satisfied with what we came back with. The Citizens Advisory Group has not been listened to, and specifically the user groups. He basically said he's out, but I'm not very good at giving up. So discussions are ongoing, and I hope to come back. But at this point, we can keep his first donation, but he's not open to the second part of it. So I'm continuing to work on it, I guess. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Any questions?
I am not seeing any. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Mayor Robinson has one.
When you just made that last comment that we can keep the first donation from that that was accepted on the basis through the chair, I believe, that we were going to do some additional seating, which was bleachers and that, to a cost in excess of $100,000, and that was sort of tied to that. So there's no, that money is ours at this point in time.
Absolutely.
In my mind, that was received on the basis that we're incurring additional costs. Anyway, that was to cover that cost and then some extra over and above that. Do I understand?
Yeah,
correctly?
absolutely. Yeah, no, that money is cashed and he doesn't want to see it back.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Oh, from Ball Construction. Okay, Mr. Homewood is online. Okay, all right. So. Yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll do that now, and then we'll, so mover and seconder. Mayor Robinson, Councillor Lundy, that the verbal update, fundraising and sponsorship Chair McDermott presented. All in favor? That's carried. So we're back to 3.3, the project and budget update. And Mr. Homewood, I understand you're online now. Okay. He's connecting. A moment or two for him to connect. If you can hear us, Mr. Homewood, we do have your presentation ready for the screen. Mr. Homewood, are you able to make a connection so that we
Yep.
can?
Can
Oh,
you hear me now?
can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Good old technical difficulties. Okay.
Okay. So we do have your presentation ready to go.
Okay. Yep. I can go ahead.
Oh, no.
I can share my
Can you
screen.
screen share?
I sure can.
Okay.
Okay. So just a little brief update on where we're at on the project. So we'll just very similar format to what we did before. We're just going to talk about the short-term construction schedule, kind of a 3 and 4 month look ahead, the overall project schedule, and the budget update. So as it stands right now, the foundation work had started October 5th. We're approximately 30%, just over 33%, so about a third of the foundation work has been completed. The foundations are to be completed late this year, early into 2025. The structural steel is still on track to start installation in January. And then the CLT wood roof deck that's over the swimming pool area will be installed late February in 2025. In terms of the overall project schedule, we're still looking at the building structure to be completed in spring of 25. The building envelope will start in the spring right after the structure has been installed. The swimming pool is still on track for the installation to start in the summer of 25. Once again, foundations are still on track. And the final completion target date is still the same as before. It's sitting right now at May in 2026. Not much has changed in the overall project budget from the last council meeting. So right now we've had literally no changes in the budget since the October 9th overall project update. Right now, the overall project budget is currently sitting at 39,248,460. And we currently have approximately 95% of the total costs have now been tendered on the project. Overall, the hard cost budget for the construction of the facility is tracking just below the initial project budget, or the initial projected budget for the facility. Just a couple recent photos that were taken the end of last week and into this week. So there's just some of the foundation walls around the front where the swimming pool area being formed up. Again, there's some of the footings being placed, and you can see the completed footings on the left. All right, and that concludes the update.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Holman? Mayor Robinson?
Through the chair, with the one of the tenders that I think has been awarded or accepted was for the concrete and cement work. Am I correct?
Yes, that's right.
And who was the successful bidder on that?
So for the concrete form work, Ball Construction are self-performing that work. We did go through a competitive bid tender process for that. We did receive a couple different bids on that, and then we were the lowest bidder for the concrete form work. In terms of the concrete flat work, so the slabs on grade within the facility, that has been tendered. That's to United Formwork. And the swimming pool base and the concrete related to the swimming pool will be by Austin Carroll.
The actual cement supplier themselves?
And for the supplier, yes, that was tendered. I just can't remember. I believe it's Muskoka Ready Mix were the low bidder on that.
Okay. So I just want to clarify, because there's all these stories out in the community. We did receive a very generous donation from Sargent Cement. And some people were saying that was because Sargent Cement was awarded the contract for supplying the cement, but that would be incorrect then.
That is
Sergeant,
in,
this out
that
of
is incorrect.
generosity of their hearts and that are not the actual cement supplier, am I correct?
You are correct.
Thank you for that clarification.
Any other questions? Mayor Robinson, I do know there are rumors out there, like there was a day and Mr. Homewood could probably, but there was a day when there was nobody on site and I think they had poured some concrete and it needed to cure, I'm sure. And it was, the rumors were that the project's been shut down and no funding and that kind of stuff. And it was really, really sad. And I said, no, I think they're letting the concrete cure so that they can continue on. Like,
Yes.
I just wish people would get a grip on reality and quit kind of trying to find ways to shoot things down when everybody here is trying to do great things. So, Mr. Homewood, can you clarify that as well, please?
Yeah, I think it, just to be about as clear as I possibly can, from a construction standpoint, we're 100% full steam ahead.
Thank
There are
you.
no delays in our progress or anything. We've started and we're not stopping.
Wonderful. Thank you. Any other questions at all? No? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for the presentation and your input. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mover and seconder for the project and budget update, Councillor Fellner, Mayor Robinson. The board receives the November 13th, 2024 project and budget update for information purposes. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Our last item is Carling position and which is 3.5, which was added to the agenda. Mayor Murphy is online. Mayor Murphy, are you able to answer any questions?
I'll do my best.
Okay, I do have one to begin with, and I'd like to know, and I think everyone would like to know, is Carling's position to not guarantee the board's loan been ratified by Carling Council?
Well, if you read my letter, you will see that council has committed a significant financial backing to Belvedere Heights Home for the Aged, which significantly affects our debt limit. And we have taken that on behalf of all of the municipalities that are involved with Belvedere Heights. And I know that Belvedere was had time constraints with respect to solidifying their financial support and didn't feel that there was time to consult with all of the municipalities to get agreement from all to mutually commit to this financing. So we have taken that on, which significantly affects our debt limit. I don't know how much more I can say about that.
But you haven't actually made a position through council that you're not guaranteeing the loan for the recreation center.
Because of our commitment to Belvedere Heights, we're constrained because we're close to our debt limit.
Okay. Is there any other board members have any questions for Mayor Murphy? Mayor Robinson?
Yeah. First of all, I didn't hear your question answered. I think you asked if Carling Council had ratified this or not. I didn't hear an answer to that in there. I'm just seeking some clarification, I guess. Councillor Wing on Carling Council is McDougall's rep and Archipelago's rep on Belvedere board. We did receive a deputation at our last council meeting from Councillor Wing. Before that meeting, I reached out to her and told her if she needs funding from McDougal as one of the owners of Belvedere Heights, I would certainly take that to my council very quickly, and we could turn that around very quickly to give them an answer. And I'll express that there was no need for Carling to shoulder this debt load on their own. The response I got was, this does not impact Carling's ability to borrow. So Carling is quite willing to go ahead and do this. So there's some confusion around this issue for sure. As I also, my primary residence is in McDougal, but I have a seasonal residence in Carling, so I follow their Carling council meetings. At Councillor Wing's presentation to Carling, when she presented this proposition, she seemed very clear at that point, saying to Carling that it did not impact their borrowing capacity either. So I guess I'm just seeking some clarification as to why Carling at this point in time is saying this is impacting their ability. And if it is, why they went down that road when there doesn't seem to me to be a need to have done that. Now, I can't speak for Archipelago, who also have share that representative as well, or the other municipalities. We're all owners of Belvedere, but there was no attempt to reach out to McDougal for sure to ask for that funding. So I'm just a little suspicious, I guess, in terms of how we got to this position. And we're not even getting the one specific question that we asked tonight answered. So maybe I'll ask if there's someone in the room here tonight. I'm not sure if the chief financial officer for Parry Sound can clarify that. If you borrow as you have done as we're doing for the pool, just backstopping, does that impact your internal ability to borrow as a municipality?
So through the chair. So I referred to the presentation provided by Belvedere, and I noticed that they mentioned under OREG 40302, section 5.8, that borrowing for district municipal homes are excluded from the municipal annual borrowing limit capacity calculation. And I do see that under the regulation, but I guess I would recommend that that be reviewed by a legal person to see if it does fall under that section in this particular case, but I suspect it may.
Did you have a follow-up, Mayor Robinson, or?
I guess just to that. So at this point in time, for what you're seeing, it does not impact your borrowing capacity.
So I can only respond by saying that council received advice from our treasurer, who had consulted with the township's auditor. If this is incorrect, if the situation has changed, we would absolutely review the situation. We're committed to this project. Please don't let there be any doubt about that. And we're happy to proceed with reconsidering whether it's legal or financial advice. We're open to committing to the Municipal Services Board request.
So could that happen then? Can you get clarification then on that soon?
Certainly, but I would like to receive correspondence from Stephanie, which would outline her opinion and position on this matter.
Through the chair, I'll be happy to forward the reference to that regulation and within Belvedere's presentation, and then that could be reviewed by Carling's legal, if that would help. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you.
Just then a follow-up question, I guess, while Mayor Murphy is on the line, like Carling has 2 reps to this board, as we all do. a primary rep and then a backup rep. And we did that so that if one can't make it, the other one can make it. And we make it very easy for board members to attend, whether in person or whether virtually. I know I'm looking at Councillor Lundy, who's done that quite regularly as well, and it works quite well. So I'm just wondering, did we receive regrets from either one of the representatives for Carling from the meeting tonight, or why Mayor Murphy are you speaking on their behalf tonight?
I can tell you that both of our primary member and our alternate are both, one is out of the province and one, because of his employment, is committed to another event that prevents both of them from attending. And we sincerely regret that, but sometimes employment and other things get in the way. So that's why I'm here tonight. And I appreciate Stephanie's commitment to providing additional information. And I can assure you that we will follow up on that.
Thank you. Councillor Fellner has a question.
Not so much a question, I think just a comment, but before a comment, I need to ask our CAO question.
Okay.
The letter we received from Carling, did we discuss that in open or closed?
Sorry, the letter we received from Carling?
Yeah, at our last meeting.
We did not receive a letter from Carling.
Or do we not have a discussion?
We had a presentation and a discussion that was brought forward by Belvedere at Seguin Council.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I meant.
And it was done in open.
Okay. Okay. So now I'll make the comment. So we had a presentation from Belvedere on this issue, discussed it in the Seguin council meeting. Seguin is a fairly large owner of Belvedere. And we were not of the opinion that we wanted Carling to act on our behalf. We were quite happy to secure or do our part to secure the funding required for the build at Belvedere. And they, you know, you're really kind of comparing apples to oranges. It was a pretty strong feeling within Seguin. So again, I question why this is sort of done at the last moment and, you know, sort of handed to everybody saying, well, this is what we did. Now we want to mix it with something else. And that's really our common position on it.
Right. Councillor Lundy.
Archipelago received the same presentation from Belvedere. And I don't have my other computer with me, but I do have a CAO in the audience that can correct me if I'm wrong, but Township of Archipelago has agreed to support the Belvedere initiative, as we have right from the start, as have all the other municipalities. And I'm confused how this conflicts with the pool financing. They're separate issues. I think that, and I did see the presentation that they made to Carling before they came to us. I saw it online, Belvedere, that is, Pam Wing. And it was the same presentation, I believe, that they went to every municipality with.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are my comments. That's good.
Any other questions, comments? Nope. Okay.
Well,
Mayor Murphy, do you have anything?
I can say that I share your confusion, and I really would like to clear these muddied waters. Council's committed to the Belvedere project. We're committed to the pool project. And if the information we have received about these commitments affecting our debt limit, this would absolutely be reviewed.
Okay. Thank you. If you can let us know as soon as possible, that would be absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. I will do that.
Okay. I think that's everything that we have on the agenda for tonight. That was everything that was brought forward. Mover and seconder to adjourn. Counselor Fellner, Counselor Lundy, all in favor? That's carried, and I would like to thank everyone for their presence and information tonight. That's greatly appreciated. Everybody have a good evening.